Hello and welcome to Gardening with Ben's award-winning podcast, as voted by Grow Your Own magazine and by my followers and listeners. So if you're new to the podcast, make sure you click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our podcasts, listen back to all our previous episodes, sit back, grab a brew and let's enjoy today's episode. Hello and welcome to our latest episode of Gardening with Ben, the award-winning podcast from Grow Your Own magazine voters. And today's episode is all about harvesting. Now is harvest, and it's well known that around September, October is the time of harvest, and many churches, schools, things like that will be having their harvest festivals and celebrating all the fresh produce which has been grown around now. And for me, personally, this hopefully coming weekend, I will be doing a lot of harvesting myself, as now is the time to be picking all your apples. I keep trying mine every week just to see if they're ready. And the way to know that apples are ready on your trees and your pears is that you can just gently pull at them and they'll come off the tree. You shouldn't have to tug them off to get them off the tree. If you tug them to get them off the tree, it means that they're not ready yet, that they're still not ready to be picked. And you shouldn't be picking them until they just come off easy in your hand. They should just snap off gently. So we're going to be harvesting all our apples hopefully this weekend, and I'll be certainly sharing them around with my friends and family, and I know they'll certainly enjoy them all, as these are eating apples. I've got a cooking apple tree which hasn't had many cooking apples on this year, unfortunately, as I did give it a good pruning back last year, but we've not had many on the tree. But my eating apple tree, I didn't prune that this year, as I didn't get many on it last year, so I left it this year. And we certainly have got a lot on that tree, so I'm looking forward to picking all them off. Unfortunately, we've not got any pears this year for some reason, so I won't be picking any pears off my pear tree. And hopefully I will be picking the last of my raspberries. These are autumn raspberries what I've grown, as I do have summer raspberries and I have autumn raspberries, but the autumn raspberries always do a lot better than the summer raspberries. So we're going to be picking all them and harvesting them. And as the weather starts to turn colder, stuff will not be growing as much now. So we'll be harvesting all the leftovers of our produce, which we have grown throughout the year. So we'll be picking all the rest of our courgettes, our marrows, our beetroot, the rest of our lettuce what's growing. Sweet corn will be ready to be picked now. Unfortunately, I've lost all mine. The squirrels have ate it all. I didn't protect the corns from the squirrels, so they've enjoyed them and not me, which I'm not too fussed about this year, but it's disappointing that I've not managed to get any. So we've got them to harvest, and yeah, basically it's going to be a time to clear out all the plants and get them all out of the allotment now, really. As, like I say, it's harvest time, and as you've picked all your autumn raspberries, you will then need to prune them back to the ground. You can just cut them all off at the bases. That is for only the autumn raspberries. For summer raspberries, you prune back the canes which had the fruit on. You don't prune back the ones that didn't fruit. Those are the new growth ready for next year. So I'll be getting that job done, and basically getting the whole plot cleared, ready for next year's harvest, sowing and harvesting for next year, as I need to be getting the garlic in as well and the autumn onions, as now is the time to be getting those in. So hopefully we'll be getting those done over the coming days. So I need to go out and purchase the garlic and the onions, and then again, like I said in my previous episode, I need to start looking at my spring bulbs, which I'm going to be sowing. So hopefully we'll be purchasing them over the next couple of days, and I'll be able to tell you which spring bulbs I'm planting this year. as well as harvesting, you will be also able to harvest seeds as well to save for next year, as some of your runner beans may have gone over. They may be too big, so I'll be saving runner bean seeds for next year. I'll also be saving all my calendula seeds for next year. I'll be saving my sunflower seeds for next year. So it's a case of harvesting the seeds as well from the flowers and the vegetables which you've not used, what you can save for next year to sow. I'll also be saving my sweet pea seeds, as you don't get many sweet pea seeds in a packet. So I'll be saving those to have sow ready for next year. We'll be looking at sowing those in the next few weeks, to be honest. You can sow them next year, or you can start them off now and overwinter them and get them stronger plants ready for next year. So make sure you tell me what you've been harvesting. Tag me in your posts on Instagram, Gardening with Ben, so that I can see what you've been growing and what you've been harvesting, and hopefully you'll all have plentiful supplies of apples and fruit this harvest time. So as always, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and remember, keep gardening and keep smiling. So thank you for listening to today's episode of Gardening with Ben. We hope that you've enjoyed this episode. Remember to do click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our podcasts. Feel free to share them on your Instagram stories so that it spreads the word about my podcast and we get lots more listeners. Feel free to check out my social media sites, Facebook and Instagram as well, Gardening with Ben, and also my YouTube channel, to stay up to date with all my handy videos, how-to videos, and sharing my tips and advice. And feel free to check the link as well in the description for my Gardening with Ben t-shirts. Lots of funny gardening design t-shirts in there for you to purchase at great prices too. So thanks again, and as always, remember, keep smiling and keep gardening.